this is Dr. Stan Harris, known as Dr. Breakthrough, and I welcome you to this recording. You know, my good friend Jim Rohn and also another one of my mentors and friend BillBailey, we took a 16-hour trip, 8 hours one way, 8 hours back, and the conversations were incredible. Fact of the matter was so much so that one of my good friends, Jerry Clark, when I told him a little bit about what they were talking about, he said, Doc, you've got to make a recording and let people hear the wisdom of these two giants. And of course, I want to share with you this powerful, powerful topic. Now, it has a little strange name. It's called the magic and the mystery. That's right, the magic and the mystery. Now, no, this is not hocus pocus, Harry Potter stuff, but this is an incredible training that literally could change your life. Magic and the mystery. Again, on this incredible trip with Jim Rohn, legendary, who just recently passed away, by the way, and also BillBailey, again, legendary. And here I am, felt like I was like driving Miss Daisy, but there was two Mr. Powerful figures, both of them multi-millionaires, and hearing their conversation, and when they started talking, and I'm listening with everything that's within me. And when Mr. Bailey says to Jim, you know, Jim, we had such a great time those good old days, and you remember so-and-so, and he called some person's name out, and Jim said, yes, I remember them. And said, you know, it's just magical how, and he talked about how this woman, literally, my friend, had grown up in a situation, terrible poverty. Fact of the matter, actually, she was the result of a rape situation, and she grew up in this adverse poverty situation, but yet once she joined this particular company, she got started, and in just a year and a half's time, she was a millionaire. And Mr. Bailey started commenting on some other people, and they went back and forth like that. And then all of a sudden, they said, you know, it's magical how, and he said, Bill, think about it. You won the Horatio Alger Award along with Ray Kroc and Ross Perot, and to think that you came from the hills of Kentucky and would have your own Sabre jet and 110-foot yacht and so forth. And Bill said, yeah, and think about this, Jim. Just an Idaho farm boy, and look at you now. You speak all over the world, and he said, just incredible. You've mentored some of the most powerful people, you know, like Tony Robbins and others, and here you're considered the foremost business philosopher in the world. He said, it's magical how someone could come from such terrible situations to create such great abundance. And then there was a turning point. Jim looked at Mr. Bailey. He said, you know, that's magical, but there's a mystery. And Bill said, what's the mystery? And Jim said, why doesn't everybody do that? Wow. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is powerful. And I stopped them. I said, listen, gentlemen, this is just incredible. I'm just blown away by this. This is incredible. I said, you know what? I actually want to do a talk on this. I believe this is something that could change people's lives, lift their awareness and so forth. And so I want to do this. And they said, well, that's fine. And I said, well, I want to mention you guys. They said, no, you can take the credit. It's okay. I said, no. I want to record this incredible, life-changing conversation and talk about what you guys talked about and then give my own spin on it. So that's where I got the whole title, The Magic and the Mystery. Again, the magic is that someone, my friend, could come from such humble beginnings and create huge success. That's the magic. It's kind of like my good friend Stephen Pierce. I think about Stephen Pierce never finished the 10th grade. Here's Stephen Pierce that, listen, my friend, he got shot. And they wouldn't even take the bullet out because he didn't have insurance. To think about the fact that Stephen went through bankruptcy. Fact of the matter, he actually tried it twice. The second time was thrown out because it was too close to the first time. To think that Stephen ended up being homeless. But then, my friend, a fella felt sorry for him, allowed him to stay in his business, to sleep on the floor. Can you imagine washing yourself up with brown, rough paper towels and so forth? But this gentleman said, look, you can use my computer. And Stephen did that. And within 30 days, he was making over $30,000 a month. And now he's going on to make millions and millions of dollars. I mean, literally now we call him the $10 million man. But, I mean, think about this. Now he's in a beautiful mansion sitting on 5 acres with his own. I mean, incredible. But that's the magic. But the mystery is, if that could happen for Stephen Pierce, it could happen for you. So the magic is, if it happened for Stephen, the mystery, why doesn't everybody create that kind of success? I think about another friend of mine. I'm thinking about a young lady, Katrina Ferguson, who, again, her husband walked out on her, left her and her 3 girls. And here she is, my friend, just basically trying to make ends meet, and nothing seems to be working right. And finally, she gets started in her own home-based business. And in just a few months, my friend, she's able to quit her job, and she started making 6-figure income. Here's a single-parent mother with 3 precious daughters, and started making a 6-figure income, and then started winning all kind of trips and rewards, and the company providing her with all different type of bonus vehicles because of her work. And here it is, my friend, now she's traveled the world and has incredible success. She's even had times where she's made 6 figures in a month. How do you go from being a single-parent mother on the brink of disaster to that? It's magical. But the mystery is, why wouldn't every single-parent mother want to do the same thing? I think about a good friend of mine, also, Joby Weeks. Joby was just a young kid that basically got in a lot of trouble, but his father was a Christian school teacher. His mother got started in a home-based business. She started the business and quit 5 times, and finally she found a home-based business that fit her, and she started working it so well that, get this, she started making more money in a month than her husband was making in an entire year, and she was able to retire her husband. Listen. And then little Joby Weeks was dragged off to all these different meetings, and so he heard all these empowering trainings and so forth. But then when Joby got his first job at 17 waiting tables, he thought to himself, this is crazy. I need to do the stuff my mother was doing. And so you know what he did? Joby got started in his own home-based business. And get this, he became a millionaire by the time he was 20 years of age. Folks, that's magic. But the mystery is, why wouldn't every young person want to do the same thing? Well, my friend, I'm going to cover some of these principles and teach you some things that are barriers that oftentimes block people from realizing their potential. But my friend, I want you to know the whole purpose of this recording is so that you can break through to the success that you desire and deserve. So it's not just magic, it's a mystery, my friend, and you are going to find yourself doing more than you've ever thought possible, because I want to empower you with some truths that will transform your life forever. Wow, again, the magic and the mystery. When I think about my own story as a 6-year-old boy, can you imagine, my friend, I was out in the middle of the field playing in the playground, and a gang of teenagers came my way. I was so afraid, my friend, I didn't even try to run. They grabbed me. One guy hit me in the stomach, knocked the air out of me. The rest of them, they threw me on the ground, started beating all over me. Then they started kicking all over me. Then they started stomping all over me as if I were a piece of trash. One guy flipped me over, took a great big old bucket of tar, and if you can imagine, he poured the tar all over my face and poured it on my body. And then they took a bunch of feathers and they threw them on me, and they left me there. I was crying out for help, and like a lot of big cities, nobody stopped by. Finally, thank God, someone finally grabbed hold of me and rushed me to the hospital, and the tar wasn't hot, but it was thick, almost suffocated. But finally, they got me taken care of, and I was so grateful. But because of that, my friend, that caused me to want to learn how to protect myself. And so I got started in martial arts, my friend, and now to imagine that now, just 4 years ago, I retired as a heavyweight champion with Karate World rating system. And now, my friend, I find myself 40 years later, out of almost 6 billion people in the world, there's less than 100 of us that have attained the 10th degree black belt level. That's right, grandmaster level. I've been voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. I'm saying it's an incredible, it's magic that a little boy could be tarred and feathered and listen, my friend, and then grow up and become a martial arts champion defending himself. But the mystery is, why wouldn't everyone who's been through some type of abuse want to turn that around and turn their abuse and turn it into their strength? As I think about the fact I got started in this home-based business industry. I used to be a college professor, and someone said to me, what if you could start making more money in a month than you used to make an entire year? I got started in that industry, my friend, and get this. I started building my own home-based business, free enterprise, and I got to the place with this particular company when I was making over $100,000 a month. I mean, it's life-changing. It's shocking. I couldn't believe it, my friend. Making more money in a month than I was making in an entire year. That's magic. But the mystery is, why wouldn't every single person alive want to take a chance, want to stretch, and to see if they could accomplish the same thing? It's magic, but it's also a mystery. But by the time I'm done with this training, my friend, it won't be a mystery at all. And I'm going to give you some steps, 7 powerful steps that you can take that can take it from just being magic and no longer a mystery, but something, my friend, that literally becomes a reality in your life. I'm thinking about another friend of mine. His name is Johnny. Johnny was a man who got in trouble as a youth and had a felony. Listen, my friend, he tried to get things going, tried to get his life back on track. And people said to him, well, because of your felony, listen, my friend, you'll never amount to be anything. You're not going to do that. But you know what he did? He went on, my friend, again to become a powerful, powerful speaker and started his own home-based business and was making a 6-figure income every single month. And now, my friend, he's traveled the world speaking with some of the top speakers in the world. I mean, it's magical that an ex-felon, an ex-con, listen, my friend, who could change his life and have such tremendous success. It's magical. But the mystery is, why wouldn't every ex-con, why wouldn't every person with that kind of background say, if it happened for him, it can happen for me, and I'm going to make sure it happens? And my friend, that's what this recording is dedicated to. It's dedicated to you, my friend, breaking through any barrier to the success that you desire and deserve, so it'll no longer be a mystery. But my friend, is going to be something that you walk out in your life, and when you see the success that you have achieved, it's going to shock even you. So we're going to get into the brass tacks of this. 7 powerful breakthrough principles that I learned, my friend, that has kept people back, but they'll no longer keep you back, because you, my friend, will have a path that you can follow to your success. So if you're ready for the first one, the number one is going to be doubt. It's going to be doubt. But by the time I'm done, my friend, you are going to know exactly what to do with you. Doubt. You see, this is the thing, my friend, that oftentimes keep people from experiencing, again, like I said, the magic of the mystery. The magic is that anybody can create the success. The magic is that people can come from tremendously awesome situations and yet turn it around. The mystery is, why wouldn't everyone do it? Because of doubt. See, here's the thing you have to understand. Doubt is the thing that's going to try to keep you from walking into your destiny. Doubt is the thing that's going to try to keep you from walking into your financial success. Doubt is the thing that's going to try to keep you from walking into your relationship success. Doubt is the thing that's going to try to keep you, my friend, from reaching your goals, dreams, and aspirations. See, here's what you have to understand. Many people, they believe their doubts. Listen to me now. They believe their doubts. But my friend, if you are going to experience the breakthrough that I'm talking about, if you, my friend, are going to go beyond, which you will, then you're going to have to learn to, get this now, doubt your doubts. Man, that's good. Did you get that? See, you can't doubt your beliefs. That's what other people do. You've got to learn to doubt your doubts. So here's what happens. All these people that I talk about, they all have one thing in common. That is, they learn to doubt their doubts and believe their beliefs. Most everybody else, they believe their doubts, therefore they start doubting their beliefs. And when you have that congruency, in other words, what you believe on the inside matches what you're saying, listen, my friend, there's something powerful that happens and something magical that takes place. And that's what I want for you. So I'm telling you this, all of the powerful people in the world, they all have doubt. You'll never get to a place where you no longer have doubt. The ancient writer talks about a man, John the Baptist, who talked about the coming Messiah. His whole life was dedicated to that. And yet at the end of his life, He's about to die. He's about to be beheaded. And he says, is he the one, or should we seek for another? Now, the writer says that there's none born among women greater than John the Baptist. That means if the greatest person who ever lived, if they had doubt, and not just doubt, serious doubt, then that means you're never going to escape your doubt. You just have to know what to do with your doubt. You just have to doubt it. So if you're getting started in a home-based business, so if you want to have an incredible a romance, an incredible relationship, my friend, doubt will come in and say, it's not going to work. But from now on, you are going to start doubting that doubt, and you, my friend, are going to say, it is going to work because I am going to work it. By the way, nothing works until you do. So doubt's going to try to work you over, but you have to learn to work with your doubt. So when I go places to speak, oftentimes doubt settles in, and doubt says, well, they're not going to like you. Doubt says, well, you're going to perform one of your demonstrations, break a board or break a brick, or lay on the nails and put 150 pounds of bricks on your stomach. The guy's going to take a sledgehammer and break it off. But instead of you jumping up being okay like normally, this time you're going to be hurt. Doubt creeps in. Now I've got one or two things. I can either doubt my doubt or I can believe my doubt. And you know exactly what I do. I doubt my doubt. Watch this. And because I doubt, my friend, I go in and I have an incredible time. I speak, people like it. Their lives are changed. Why? Because I'm not going to feed my doubt and allow it to live and grow big and strong. I'm going to starve my doubt and allow it to fall and die. And then some belief kicks in and something says these people are really going to like you. They're going to purchase all your products. They're going to invite you back. People are going to be calling you and saying, listen, we got to have this Dr. Breakthrough guy. We've got to have him. Now that's what kicks in. I've got one or two choices. I can doubt it or I can believe it. Well, guess what I do? I believe it. And because I believe it, there's such a synergy. Listen, there's such power, my friend, and those things come to pass. So here's what I want you to do. Make up your mind on what you want to do. Make up your mind on what you want to accomplish. And when you do that, my friend, I want you to take the doubts, because they will come, but I want you to doubt those doubts, and I just want you to believe your beliefs. Helen Keller said it best. There's only one thing worse than being blind, and that's having sight but no vision. Have a vision for your life and go after it, and you will experience magic. But doubt will come to try to turn you back. But you, from now on, will doubt your doubt. Say it out loud with me. I doubt my doubts. Come on now. We're going to get ready. Step number 2. There's another thing that will try to keep you back, and that is called fear. So get ready. And we're going to help you to explode through any fear to the success that you desire. Fear. Fear is that thing that tries to keep people back from experiencing those magical moments and the magical life that they've desired and they've wanted. You see, my friend, fear, write it down, F-E-A-R, false expectation appearing real. Fear, false evidence appearing real. You remember I told you about when I was a little boy and the gang of teenagers came my way? Well, see, my friend, because of my fear, I froze in my tracks. Now listen carefully. You must not allow fear to paralyze you, but rather you should be propelled by your fear. Did you get that? Man, that's good. Let me say it again. Don't allow your fear to paralyze you, but rather allow your fear to propel you. You remember being a child and being afraid that the dog would come after you when the dog came after you, right? Well, first of all, that's a powerful principle I want you to understand. What you are afraid of, you will attract that to your reality. You will attract that to your situation. So when you're afraid you're going to fail, you pull that to your reality. When you're afraid things won't turn out right, when you're afraid the relationship won't work, when you're afraid you won't be able to raise good children, when you're afraid you won't be able to, I'm saying, listen, that fear. So watch this now. So remember, as children, we were afraid the dog was going to come after us. The dog came after us. Why? Because the dog responded to our fear. By the way, how many of you are glad that there was a car close by that you can jump on? I mean, listen, my friend, but let me give you this illustration. I'm not a great runner, but I tell you what, if a dog is chasing me, I could outrun about anybody in a 100-yard dash. Why? Because at that moment, my fear now is propelling me to run fast. So when people have their fear, it's okay, again, to have fear. It's just a misuse of fear. People, again, they allow the fear to keep them hostage. And that's what I did as a 6-year-old boy. Listen, I don't know. I could have, if I'd allowed my fear to propel me, if I'd have ran as fast as I could and yelled, perhaps someone could have heard. Perhaps someone could have helped. Perhaps someone could have rescued me. I don't know, and I'll never know. Why? Because I never ventured out to try. And many people never experience the magical moments they can have. They never experience that quote-unquote magical life that they could have. Why? Because fear keeps them from ever trying. Fear keeps them back. Fear causes them to self-sabotage. Fear causes them, my friend, to attract those things that they don't want in their lives. And again, I'm telling you this, my friend, you have got to understand this. Fear is going to try to diffuse you. Every great person faces the fear. But here's the difference. You have got to feel the fear and do it anyway, and then learn a powerful principle, and that is to shift your fear into faith. Let me say it again. Shift your fear into faith. See, fear and faith are twins. Fear is upside down faith. Fear is belief the bad's going to happen. Faith is belief the good's going to happen. Now, my friend, you can only believe one thing at a time. You might as well believe the good is going to happen. And each one of these people that I've used as illustration, and everyone else that I'll use further on, they all have another thing in common. That is this, my friend. When they had an opportunity for fear to invade them, instead of concentrating on their fear, they focused on their faith. Fear, false expectation appearing real, but faith stands for find answers in the heart. See, faith says, I believe I can do it. Faith sees the victory. Doubt sees the way. Doubt sees a dreary night. Faith sees the day. Doubt dreads to take a step. Faith soars on high. Doubt yells out, who believes? And faith yells back, I. So you see, my friend, you've got to understand this, that you, my friend, can experience an incredible life, experience incredible relationships, experience incredible health and wealth, all that life has to offer. But fear is the thing that has been keeping you back from this day. Fear will no longer keep you back, but instead of you, my friend, operating in fear, you will now operate in faith, and I declare it so in your life, my friend, because you are going to experience some great things as you launch out in faith. As a matter of fact, what you have faith in, you will be attracted to it. See, it was your faith that you could experience a breakthrough that allowed you to be connected with Dr. Breakthrough. It's your faith that allowed you that your faith to say, you know, I believe I can have more health. I believe I can experience greater relationships. I believe it's that faith, my friend, that attracted you to me so that I could help you to unlock and unleash those things that you desire. So we're not going to allow fear to interrupt us anymore, but rather we're going to operate on faith, and that faith is going to come to fruition. You remember Murphy's Law. In fact, matter one day I was driving down the street, I pulled over and I yelled, "Get out!" And I kicked Murphy out of my car. You know, because Murphy's Law, in fact, the matter is so bad I barely even like to say it. But, you know, anything bad that can happen will happen. It will happen at the worst possible time. So I said, I don't like Murphy. I don't like his law. I sure don't like the results of his law. So I'm going to write my own law. So I wrote Dr. Breakthrough's Law. Would you like to hear that? All righty, here it is. Here's Dr. Breakthrough's Law. Anything good that can happen will happen. And it will happen at the best possible time. I'm thinking about a good friend of mine, Jerry Clark, who was one of 12 children born in a garage in Mississippi. Listen, my friend, he had to sleep underneath of a cradle for many years because there's so many people in that house, my friend. They didn't want to step on him. But listen, he thought the way to success was to go to school like many people are taught, and to get good grades, and then to go to college and get a good job. And while he was going to college pursuing that, he heard of the home-based business enterprise, free enterprise. He heard of this, and he went to a meeting, my friend, and someone was talking. And he mentioned about the fact they were making $34,000 a month. And he went up and he was puzzled. He said, well, have you been to college? And the guy said, no. He said, wait a minute, you haven't been to college and you're making $34,000 a month? And this gentleman explained to him about this business that he was in. And Jerry Clark, 19 years of age, got started in his own home-based business, got started in free enterprise, got started also in personal development. And listen, my friend, by the time he was 26, he retired as a multi-millionaire. You know why? Because Jerry didn't allow his fear. See, he didn't allow his fear to overcome him. He had faith. When he heard of this home-based business industry and he heard of some things that can happen, he believed and he stepped out on that faith, and great things happened for him, and great things are going to happen for you. But there's another thing that oftentimes keeps people. It's magic. But the mystery is, why doesn't everybody do it? Well, because of criticism. That's the third thing I'm going to talk to you about. Other people's negative opinion, or what some people call criticism. This, my friend, has kept many people back. But you are going to break through it, because I'm going to give you some principles that's going to help you. So get ready. Criticism. Every great person, again, going back to that conversation, when again Jim Rohn and BillBailey, you got to understand, BillBailey built a company in the 70s that was grossing $64 million a month. That's back when there's no email, no fax machine, no none of that, my friend. And he received a lot of criticism. But guess what? He didn't allow the critics to keep him. Somebody said if you want people to criticize you, just do three things. Have more, know more, and do more, and people are going to get after you. However, if you want people to leave you alone, somebody said do three other things, and that is have nothing, know nothing, and do nothing. But I got to thinking about that. If you have nothing, know nothing, and do nothing, then people are going to criticize you for being lazy and no good. So, in other words, people are going to criticize you no matter what you do. So you might as well make up your mind that you are going to reach your goals, dreams, and aspirations. And the criticism, my friend, allow that to fuel you to going further and doing more than you ever dreamed possible. But other people will criticize you, and oftentimes their criticism is based on their own hearts. I like to say to people this way: if you can spot it, you got it. So in other words, my friend, oftentimes people will project what's in their heart onto you, and they will criticize you based on what they would do or what they're... So you can't allow their criticism. By the way, I've never seen a statue erected for a critic. So many people start off, many people have goals, dreams, and aspirations. Many people hear the stories, inspiring stories, and say, yes, I want to do that same thing. When you think about Ben Carson, my friend, this young man, this young boy that stuttered, and this young boy who grew up in a single-parent home, and yet his mother was dedicated to him and his brother to help them be successful. And Ben Carson, my friend, you've got to, if you've never read the book Gifted Hands, if you've never seen that movie, that video, you've got to get it and check it out. And to see how all of a sudden this young man starts having a transformation and his grades start getting better. And he goes off to college, and then he becomes, get this now, he becomes the world's greatest neurosurgeon in the world. By the way, I had an opportunity of speaking with him on one event. But to think about this man that came, I mean, it's magic. But the mystery is, why wouldn't everyone who has, and maybe somebody calls them handicapped as far as their learning capabilities, and that's what they did back then. They criticized young Ben and made fun of him. But you know what? He broke through the criticisms. And now, my friend, he's living a life that few people even imagine and dream of. And you can do the same thing if you realize the criticism's going to come. But don't allow it to stop you. Don't allow it to taunt you, my friend. What you have to do is you have to keep on keeping on and do what you know you set your mind and your heart out to do. So again, my friend, realize this. The criticism's going to come. But my friend, you don't have to allow it to destroy you. because you have a goal in mind. You've got an objective. You've got somewhere you're going to go. You've got some things you're going to do. And keep this in mind. Every powerful and successful person has had to break through the criticisms and oftentimes other people's negative opinions. I close with this thought for this particular point. You don't have to allow someone else's negative opinion of you to become your own reality. Hey, if it's their opinion, let them keep it to themselves. So we're going to move on to another powerful thing that oftentimes keeps people back. It's no tenacity or lack of stick-to-itness. But my friend, I'm going to assist you and help you and empower you to have the tenacity you need to reach your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Many people do not have the tenacity that it takes, but actually they have it, they're just not utilizing it. You see, when you set out, when you have an imagination of what you want to accomplish and what you want to do, oftentimes, my friend, it doesn't happen overnight. We live in such a popcorn generation, a microwave generation. But those who experience magic, those who experience the greatness, are those who pay. Listen, my friend, they pay with persistence. Here's what you got to understand. Somebody said it this way. I believe it was Calvin Coolidge. He said, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are almost omnipotent. You see, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, if care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but please don't quit. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tin of the cords of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. Victory may be near, though it seems afar. So stick to your guns when your heart is hit. It's when things go wrong that you just mustn't quit. So you have to have that tenacity. You have to have that stick-to-itness. You have to have that dogged determination that nothing is going to turn you back. When I think about Les Brown, a good friend of mine that we were speaking not long ago together in London. In fact, we co-authored a powerful book together called Walking with the Wise. Walking with the Wise. You can see that book on my website, drbreakthrough.com. But Les, again, educated slow is what they said about him and his twin brother. And Les had a tough time. And now Les, my friend, is one of the top speakers in the world. Les has earned over $53 million. But he was tenacious about being the best speaker he could be. And my friend, I want you to know that if you'll just be tenacious and just keep on keeping on. I understand that Formula 409 got its name. Why? Because they tried this formula, this cleansing formula, over and over again. It didn't work, and it didn't work, and it didn't work. And finally, on the 409th try, it worked. I don't know what your number is, my friend, but you better just keep on keeping on. And like Les often says, I called his cell phone one time, or several times, he had quoted me, and I said, I'm going to quote you one time. He said, well, Doc, go ahead. And I said, I'm going to give you credit. He said, no, you don't have to give me credit, but I'm going to give him credit anyway. He often says this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it, and fret for it, and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength, and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, poverty, famish, or cold, sickness, or body or brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim, you beseech and beset it, with the help of Almighty God and Dr. Breakthrough, you can get it. So my friend, just be tenacious and just keep on keeping on. I got started in martial arts over 40 years ago, and my friend, you name it, I broke it. I've broken my fingers, my wrists, my elbow, you name it. My nose, it been broken. But guess what? My mind was made up. And just make up your mind. See, all these people that I'm talking about, there's a lot of, I won't even talk about. Listen, my friend, I don't have time, but it just have to understand this point, my friend. They all have another thing in common. They set their mind out to accomplish some things, and they just continued on in spite of adversity, in spite of anything else. And listen, they kept on going until they reached their goal. And you, my friend, are going to keep on keeping on. Somebody said, if you despair, well, at first they said never despair. But if you do despair, continue on in despair. Tenacity. Just keep on keeping on. And then I'm going to give you another thing, and that is oftentimes there's no system or there's no formula. And so I'm going to give you some principles that will help you to go on through that. System of formula. Like I'm going to take a piece of paper and write down, of course, if you're driving, you can't do this, but write the word system. Make it plural. And I'm going to give you the acrostic, so write it vertically on a piece of paper. SYSTEMS. So again, going to write it vertically on a piece of paper, and I'm going to give you the acrostic for system. See, many people, my friend, never engage in a system. So system stands for save yourself. Time, energy, money, stress. How many of you would like to save yourself time, energy, money, stress? Well, that's what you can do when you plug in to a system. In fact, man, I'm thinking about a good friend of mine, Marty Ager. Marty, tragic situation where, imagine again, thinking about this whole theme of the magic and the mystery. Thinking about the fact that Marty Ager watched his own father kill his mother, kill his grandparents. I mean, imagine as a 10-year-old boy visualizing, seeing all that. And his life was just a mess and a wreck and a ruin. He had a little success in football for a while, but then just life just back and forth and so forth. But then he got married and divorced and got married again, and marriage is just rocky as all get out. And then, my friend, he got plugged in to a system. He got plugged in to a system, my friend. He learned to save himself time, energy, money, and stress. And now Marty is a multi-millionaire. And now Marty and his wife are living in a dream home, have a dream, a just incredible relationship, living there with their beautiful son. I'm saying, listen, my friend, the magic is the fact, hey, if a 10-year-old boy who watched his own father kill his mother and his grandparents, if a 10-year-old boy, my friend, that has that kind of tragedy grow up and do all these different things, my friend, and yet have his life put together and do, it's magic, but it's the mystery is why wouldn't everybody? I'll tell you why, because many people never plug in to a system. See, a formula or system, I like to say a formula is something that works every time by everyone who works it. And that's why I have a breakthrough formula that I'd love to connect with you and help you to learn. That's why I teach on systems. And I'm thinking about another good friend of mine, Dwayne Golden. Again, Dwayne, a great mind as far as putting systems together, but he was using it to build money for other people. And finally, one day he got started in his own home-based business. He got started in free enterprise. And then Dwayne Golden, my friend, here's a guy who was helping other companies to make millions because of his systems, but he had never employed it for himself. And then he started using systems to build his own business. And listen, my friend, he's had months now when he's made over $80,000 in one single month. And here was a guy that when he was a little child, they said he was educably slow. Here's a little fellow, by the way, when I met him, he was like 12 years of age, and I became a mentor to him to try to help him, encourage him. But listen, and he just went on, in his life now is just incredible. But I'm telling you, the people who plug into systems, the people who follow a formula, are people who experience great success. But see, a lot of people, they want to reinvent the wheel. They want to try to make it on their own. They want to try. No, listen, my friend, if you can find a proven system or formula, that is, my friend, is going to save you a lot of money, a lot of time, and a whole lot of stress. So I want you, my friend, to be aware of this, and I want you to contact me so I can help you to get involved with systems that can help you to be successful. Now we're going to go to the next thing, and that is an unwillingness to pay the price. Again, the magic is it can happen for anybody. The mystery is, why doesn't everyone do it? And the answer is, some people are unwilling to pay the price. So we're going to talk about that and help you to get over that hurt. Unwillingness to pay the price. You see, my friend, there's a price of success, and you have to be willing to pay that price. See, here's what you have to understand. Everything in life is easy after it's hard. I said everything in life is easy after it's hard. See, many people are not willing to go through the hard part, and they quit before it gets easy. See, I'm telling you, here's a statement that you have to commit to, and that is this. You've got to be committed. Get this now. You've got to be committed to the process of being bad for as long as it takes to get good. Let me say it again. Man, that was good. I said, you got to be committed to the process of being bad for as long as it takes to get good. You see, the people that experience the great success, the people that experience the breakthroughs, the people that have the incredible relationships and the incredible life are those, my friend, it didn't come easy. It's like William Wadsworth said, adversity, it causes some men to break, it causes others to break records. My friend, you have got to be a record breaker. You've got to understand, my friend, that within any pain is hidden power, and harnessed power can be used to create profits. You've got to allow your pain to push you to your prosperity. You've got to understand, my friend, that trouble never comes to a woman or man unless she brings a nugget of gold or good in her hand. And all the great people in life, you don't understand this, but behind the glory, there's always a story. And the story isn't always real nice sounding. And listen, just make up your mind, though. I'm willing to pay the price. I'm willing to pay the price. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to go through whatever I have to endure, but I am going to reach my goals. I'm going to reach my dreams. I'm going to live the life that I desire. Listen, my friend, those people who have accomplished that, they've done it because they've been willing to pay the price. You see, successful people are willing to do what others won't so they can one day have what others don't. Did you hear that? Man, that's good. Go on, Dr. Breakthrough. Say that again. Okay, I'm glad you liked it, Doc. Okay, I said successful people are willing to do what others won't so they can one day have what others don't. And so you have got to be willing to pay with perspiration and just keeping on and doing what you have to do. It's not going to be easy. Life is not easy. I mean, listen. You desire. You are on your way to a great place. You, my friend, are going to have some incredible things happen to you. But understand, when you have that attitude of I'm willing to pay the price, that'll help you. But here's one thing I want you to understand. When I make up my mind to do something, circumstances align themselves in my favor. When I say I can't, my mind stops trying. But when I say, how can I? My mind keeps searching until it finds a way. There is a way, and I will find it. And if not, I will invent it. Be willing to pay the price. And when you focus and make up your mind, my friend, literally, doors will start opening. Impossibility, things that seem like they were impossible now, they will, my friend, make room for those who really, really want it. Alrighty. I want you to hear and think about this for just a moment. I'm thinking about another friend of mine who his father committed suicide at a young age. This young man went through such hard times that he had to sleep in his own car. 6'3", and being balled up in a little car, little Honda. Can you imagine it? But he was hungry to be successful. And now, my friend, he's worth over $20 million. Just a young man, 28 years of age. Why? Because he was willing to pay the price. I go back to BillBailey and Jim Rohn. Again, Jim Rohn, the foremost business philosopher in the world, he's been dubbed as. And he said it best as he's talking to BillBailey, and Bill said it as well. It's magic that people can come from such adverse situations and accomplish such great things. But the mystery is, why wouldn't everyone want to do it? And the answer is sometimes people aren't willing to pay the price. But those of you listening to this recording, I want you to reach down and deep as they can and say, I will pay the price. Folks, there's no free lunch. And you've got to keep on keeping on. Now, the last point is the thing that keeps many people back. But my friend, when you get this, this is going to be like a aha moment, a breakthrough moment. It's kind of like that lock. You have 3 numbers on the lock, and 2 of them you're missing one last number. And that last number is a mentor. Many people, they never experienced the magic and the mystery because they don't have a mentor. Let's talk about that now. A mentor. You see, oftentimes the word ego, I tell people, ego, stands for edging guidance out. And many times when I speak around the country, I've spoken in all 50 states and 27 countries. And oftentimes I write the word ego on the board, and I'll tell people, when people want me to train them either in the martial arts or train them in the speaking arena or train them in a home-based business, whatever it is, I tell people I first of all have to break your nose. Like, break my nose? I'm like, no, not your N-O-S-E, but your K-N-O-W-S. You see, my friend, oftentimes it's that ego that stands in the way of we thinking we know. See, we do know some things, but the key is this. You've got to understand that everybody knows something that you don't know. Thus, you've got to probe and find out what it is and learn it for yourself. Why? Because you see, the successful people in life are those, which, by the way, when I talked a little bit about systems, I didn't elaborate a whole lot, but one part of my system of success is simply this: to find a mentor who is successful in the area that you desire to be successful and follow their lead. You see, a mentor is not one whose advice you seek, but rather a mentor is one whose advice you follow. Wow. Did you get that? See, many people are willing to listen sometimes, but listening only is not good enough. You've got to go from the information listening stage to the implementation stage. See, the martial arts really helped me out with something powerful. That is this. You see, first of all, I didn't walk in when I started, just over 40 years ago. I didn't walk in and say, hey, sensei, I'm here to teach you and tell you a few things. No, I walked in and said, sir, I want to learn. Now listen, and by the way, the word sensei in Japanese means teacher, instructor, but listen carefully. I took what's called Ishinryu karate, and then many years ago, 15 years ago, I started my own style, crescendo. But here's what you got to understand. In the martial arts, they told us what to do. Then they showed us what to do. And then we had to demonstrate it. And then we had to do a fourth thing, and that is we had to teach someone else what we had learned. And my friend, I'm telling you, when you think of the magic and the mystery, it's so magical when you think of a little boy growing up in the ghettos of Chicago and becoming a millionaire, a multi-millionaire by the time he just turned as a young teenager. Why? Because he got mentors in his life. And successful people don't just get they get several mentors. But get this, my friend, if you really want to find the system to success that'll save yourself time, energy, money, stress, you have got to get you a mentor who's successful in the area that you want to be successful in. I'm thinking about, again, Les Brown. He won't mind me saying it. He said it many times publicly. But Les said, if you want to learn about speaking, talk to me. But if you want to learn about how to have a good marriage, don't talk to me. He says, I've been married and divorced so many times. He says that it's a shame. Well, here's what I'm saying. See, sometimes we get people to understand that they need a mentor, but then sometimes they'll just have one mentor and they think that one mentor can mentor them in any and every area of their life. No. Find out. See, you got to have some business mentors, some spiritual mentors, some relationship mentors. But I'm telling you, my friend, you understand this principle that a mentor is one who can help you, my friend, to get to where you want to go. Literally, I like to call it to jet to success. The jet to success. You see, my beautiful wife, who's sitting beside me, by the way, on this recording, and man, I feel good when I think about my sweet brown sugar. But anyway, hey, listen, I'm telling you, we just recently went to Utah. And there's several ways we could have gotten to Utah. We could have gotten on a Greyhound bus and taken several days. We could have gotten on a train, Amtrak, and maybe taken a day and a half. Or, my friend, we could have gotten in a car and taken, again, a day and a half or 2 days. Or like we did, we got on a jet. And in about 3.5, 4 hours, we were there in our destination from Texas to Utah. What I'm saying is this, my friend, you can get the jet to success when you employ the help of a mentor, someone who is successful in the area that you want to be successful in. And listen, my friend, you follow that mentor, and the mentor is one who usually has a system laid out. And if you follow that, my friend, I'm telling you, it's incredible, the magic that you'll experience, and all of a sudden the mystery is taken out of it. Why? Because successful people are oftentimes looking for others that they can teach their successful principles to. I'm thinking about a good friend of mine, Myron Golden. I mentored him spiritually in the early years and also in the martial arts. But you know what? Myron went on, by the way, and I introduced him to some other powerful people, and Myron went on, my friend, to use these different mentors, and now he's got a powerful book called From the Trash Man to the Cash Man. That's right. I remember when he was a trash man. Now he's a cash man. And I've been speaking with him when I've seen him make as much as $250,000 in as little as 40 minutes. Are you hearing me, my friend? Now listen, why? Because listen, he not just got mentors, but he absorbed what those mentors taught him, and he implemented those truths. And we're talking about a fellow, my friend, who was born with polio. We're talking about a fellow, my friend, who again, he was so poor, he said poor people felt sorry for him. But now, my friend, he's traveling around the world, again, teaching people and helping people to be successful. Why? Because he employed the help of powerful mentors. Fact of the matter, in some areas, he mentors me as well. I'm saying, listen, my friend, you see, successful people don't have such an ego problem that we want to learn from everybody, everything we can. We want to squeeze everything we can. That's why recordings like this and seminars and books, I think it was Ben Franklin who said, empty your wallet into your mind and your mind will fill your wallet. So to learn to invest in yourself, to invest, my friend, in yourself, to invest in seminars, invest in and paying a mentor to mentor you, invest in whatever it is, my friend, books and CDs and DVDs. You will experience success like you never dreamed before. I'm thinking about another friend of mine, Jet. Here's a fella grew up in New York. Life just incredible, terrible things were happening to him at such a quick rate. But listen, he made up his mind. He wanted to have a breakthrough. He wanted to have a turnaround. And he got him some powerful mentors. And now Jet lives in Hawaii, owns part of an island to himself, and has made as much as $1 million in 1 month in a home-based business industry. See, by the way, that's why I love free enterprise and a home-based business. Why? It's where an average person can make above average income in below average time. It's when an average person, my friend, can understand that when you get connected to some extraordinary mentors, you can create some success for your life, my friend, that's staggering. By the way, most of the mentors that you have to understand is this: when you follow what a mentor teaches you, you oftentimes can have the success that they have and sometimes more. Why? Because when you employ and implement what they teach you along with what you learn yourself, my friend, incredible things can happen. And so I'm thinking about another young lady, Susan Sly, who literally watched her mother get raped in front of her very own eyes and went through such traumatic emotional turmoil. And listen, today she's one of the most emotionally stable people in the world. And now, my friend, she's also got started in this home-based business industry, and she has built a financial empire for herself, but also great relationships with people all over the world. I'm saying, going back to BillBailey and Jim Rohn, it's magic that someone like that it could happen for Susan Sly. But the mystery is, why wouldn't every person want that to be their story? That they turned around the situation, or they achieved the dreams, their goals, and their aspirations. Well, I believe you take these 7 things, my friend, you are going to experience success like you've never experienced before. And someone's going to make a recording, and they're going to insert your name as one of the illustrations and examples that they use, because you, my friend, you didn't allow your doubt to stop you. You didn't allow your fear to stop you. You didn't allow the criticism of others, or you didn't have a lack of tenacity. You engaged in a system. You were willing to pay the price. You engaged, got you a mentor, and my friend, and now the rest is history. Or that is his or her story. A mentor that can inspire you and be a model and teach you methods that you can implement. See, I have a powerful training called the Shortcut to Success. And literally, it's like the fast cut, the fast track to your success. And it's all about a mentor. And by the way, I mentor many different people in many different areas, and I'd love to help mentor you if that's something that appeals to you. But my friend, I just want you to reach the success that you desire and deserve. See, wherever you want to go in life and whatever you want to accomplish, I want to help you get there faster and easier. The magic and the mystery. I'll give you some closing thoughts. Now, my closing thoughts for you are this. You know, I have a powerful site you have to check out, www.freefromdrbreakthrough.com. That's freefromdrbreakthrough.com. And there's some free talks and some free things you can download, some powerful material, absolutely free, my friend. I just want you to go there. Fact of the matter, if you go to drbreakthrough.com, that's www.drbreakthrough.com, you also see some powerful things there as well. Somebody said it's the start that stops most people. Don't let the start stop you. Get started now. Give me a call, my friend, and allow me to come and to speak for your group, for your organization. My friend, contact me about mentoring you and helping you through this process. I'm dedicated to helping you to be successful. So give me a call and allow me to help you, my friend, because of this powerful training, the magic and the mystery. You are going to enjoy some things like never before, and I am going to help you. So contact me. Email drbreakthrough@gmail.com. drbreakthrough@gmail.com. And I'll see you, my friend, somewhere on the beaches of the world.